Hello and welcome back to the River City Open for our FPO coverage in 2021, brought to you by Wolfpack Discs, 616 Graphics, Great Lakes Discs, and Discraft. It is the final 9 holes here in round 3. On the commentator's mic, you have myself, Zachary, along with Stacy. How are you doing, Stacy?
I am great. Not liking how I'm playing so far in this round, but I'm excited to see who wins this tournament. It's kind of getting close for second to first, only a 4-stroke difference.
Yes, and the back 9 is the most difficult 9 on this course by, I would say, a pretty large margin.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yes, and especially with the wind, this is the more open part of the course, so if you don't have your wind game on lock, things can change pretty quickly. Starting with hole 10, no OB this year, not a key hole anymore, so pretty open, just open rip off the tee here. Just get as much distance as you can, and then try to get that 3 in before you get over to 11.
You just have to smash it up the hill and then play your par and move on.
Yeah, this is
birdie, really, if you can throw really, really far.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have well over 400 power probably, because it's uphill.
Yeah, you have to throw nose up.
And you have the tree right in front of you that limits how high, like if you could rip that, you can't just go up with it. You have to keep it low, good ankle control. It's just, there's a lot of part of the equations. Many MPO players struggle to really attack this because anything can happen.
Yeah, and this grass, in particular, in this area was like very grabby, so there's absolutely zero ground play.
Super long. Like the fairways were defined, but there was no place where it's like this place skips. It just didn't exist.
Yeah, it was just all where you land is where you are. So
playing lawn darts over here.
All right, some view.
Ooh, that's that low one.
Yeah, a little errant, but
hopefully
she'll still have a putt luck.
Yeah, hopefully she can save it. That's that new Rhino from you.
Yeah.
Hey, you just said it. It hit the ground and said, "I'm good." Right here.
Yep. I'm gonna stop.
Courtney's been teasing us all weekend on coverage. Let's see if she gives us another good bid here. Oh yeah, I guess she got some wind interaction there.
Yeah, you can see it swoop.
It was flying really well, and then the wind was like, no. All right, take a wild guess, everyone, what that disc was.
A P2.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh no!
Oh, some frustration from Cynthia there. That is a error. That's going to give another stroke to Lisa, and she can hardly afford any extra strokes at this point, especially with Courtney, who's going to actually take the lead from Cynthia for second place now.
Yep.
She's going to have this tap in before we head over to the next hole. Oh, I don't know why I forgot. There's another disc right there. We also have, that's Lisa, isn't it? Yeah, we have Lisa to finish out, and then we get to go to hole 11.
Good gold.
All right, here we go. Hole 11. Stacy, break it down.
Oh, this one is a tough one. It is 336 feet, par 3, downhill, very, very tricky double mando. You can either play laying up in front of the mando and play through to get the par, or you can be aggressive and try to go through and land within the circle for your birdie. Even the drop zone has some low-hanging branches, so the drop zone is not easy either.
Yeah, it's already like circle 2. Like mid-circle 2, and then they also have like branches that make it almost impossible to run. So it's just
you can't run it from the drop zone, not really.
And
so you're pretty taking a 4.
I agree. You like the backhand here though, right?
I don't remember. I think the first round, I think I got aggressive and missed the mando left.
Okay.
So I think I'm laying up here.
Yeah, this looks like a mid-range or even a putter from you here.
I think that was my no.
Yeah, and that's a layup.
Smart. Good job, Stacy.
Yeah, I think I like the backhand, righty backhand at least specifically because that left tree is closer to you than that right tree. So if you play that hyzer, it opens up that gap a little bit bigger. Like I think that's what Cynthia's trying to do, but this needs to slow down.
This Nope, missed the Mando.
Yep, she has scooted past it. Another mistake she can ill afford at this point. Yeah, and you're just going to put this by the basket and call it. Well, Elizabeth isn't on the card now, so somebody has to hit the pole.
Yeah.
Lisa with that falling, like,
closer.
Yeah, falling throw is the best way I can describe it, but it puts it under the basket pretty regularly, so she's up there in the dirt. Great place to be.
Yeah, that kind of showed like she couldn't run it. Just kind of shows how low the low-hanging branches were. I'm glad we had an example of the drop zone.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. I don't know if they've trimmed it. You know, there's a ton of people in this community. The GRDGU group does a lot of work, I think, out in this course pretty regularly, and as well as some other organizations. So this course gets a lot of love. I'm not sure if they've planned on or have trimmed any of those bushes, but I know if it gets much lower, they will make an adjustment there because it's pretty close to getting to being in the way. So, but they'll take care of it as we now head over to hole 12.
380-foot par 3. Initially, it's a little uphill, but it has a slight downhill finish. It is blind off the tee. You kind of have to use that big tree on the left for reference to where the basket is. You pretty much, if you can get around that, you're going to be good. I don't think any of us have this distance, so we'd all just be playing this for par.
Mm-hmm. Scores definitely reflect that as well, as Courtney is smashing this.
Great flexing backhand.
She like threw that and was like, speak for yourself. I'm going for 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ripped that one out there. Lisa also has that power, that kind of tweener power here. It's harder to reach there just because the hill throws you off. You throw it up in the air, nose up a little bit because it's uphill. And the reality is you kind of want to control that angle and leave it flat, because if it barely gets over that hill with that speed that they can throw it at, it would get to the basket pretty regularly. But it's a tough like height angle control that you have to kind of hit every time.
Yeah.
Big throw from you over the top of our cameraman, and that had plenty of distance on it, it looked like.
Yeah, I got there. Not as left of a finish as I'd like, but who's going to complain about an open par look?
A birdie first. Come on, we're getting a throw in here. I'm calling it now. All 3 of those ladies kind of in that regular landing zone there, which is underneath the tree, which is totally fine. It leaves you a choice here, though, if you get really aggressive. I feel like that was a half bid from Lisa. She's like, I'm going to throw it, but I'm not going to really throw it and see if it goes in. Ooh, this is a bid.
Oh, great bid.
That's the danger, though. It is sloping downhill for quite a bit there, so you can get a little ground action away from the basket. Oh, 3 good bids.
Another good bid.
She's just staring at it as it's trickling around, luckily not going anywhere. Big bid from you. Just over the top. Oh, we can see the raindrops just trickle a little bit here. But really nothing that's no signal. Oh, do you see the person? I've never seen this when I did my editing. There's a person with their nose out the RV window.
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it during the round. I never saw it during editing, and I just saw it just now, and it threw me off.
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, hey, what's going on over here? Let's just watch some disc golf this morning. Too funny. Couple good putts there. Couple cleanups left, and we'll be off to the next hole here. Just corny here. Kyle's still hanging out here with us. He is on the lead card for this event at this time, so he's on the last card to tee off. So he's walking with Cynthia as long as possible. Starting off with hole 13, another uphill, 362 feet. What's the game plan here?
This hole is very uphill, and is also blind off the tee pad. You've got the elevated basket. There is OB on the left. You'll see all those like bushes and stuff on the left. That's all OB. It's really hard to reach I think for us again, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's reachable, but it's again a lot of power, more than normal, and really for like the number one priority coming through your guys' heads right now is don't go left.
Mm-hmm.
Go right, and you don't lose a whole lot when you do that, and just don't go left. And you throw it a little low, which is the other mistake you kind of want to avoid here, so you can get a little more distance. But you're in the center fairway. You cut it in half. It's reachable.
I'm not OB.
Yeah, there it is. There's no extra strokes. And that's the mistake that is 100% acceptable there from Cynthia. Just rip it as hard as you can, and if it goes a little right, you still see the basket. You just gotta not go left, because that first bush, I think, right in front of you is OB too.
Correct.
So, and I heard some horror stories from the MPO division of people just letting it rip out of their hand and slipping, and it going right in there. So,
yeah.
Big Annie shot from you in the circle there, though. Courtney going backhand. Oh, that looked like it was going to be way left, and it flipped flat for her.
Yeah, it did. The wind, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Whatever it was, it worked out.
For sure.
And great layup. Yep, all right in that spot, 10 feet.
Yep.
And if you haven't been watching the coverage and you're just watching us now, then I won't annoy you with what I'm about to tell you. And that was a Sky God too. But if you've been watching since round 1, you're probably like, all right, we get it, Zach. It's a Sky God too. There you go. Good putt from you.
Yeah, good par save after that drive.
The elevated basket is definitely in play here, especially. Oh, that's another tough miss from Cynthia there. She's like, it feels like she's really close to just being consistent there. She's been off on a couple of putts by kissing that right or left side just a little bit too much. But if you push too far deep and right, this hole can be extra tricky because you'll be putting back towards the OB. That OB is not that far away, maybe 25.
Yeah.
The elevated basket does come in play if you decide to go over there. So next time you're here, don't go wide and right. Too far up past the basket. Otherwise, go wide and right so you stay out of the OB. Hole 14 now.
14. 461 feet. This is a par 3. It is another smash. There are bushes to the left of the landing zone. It's not OB, but it's very thick. You want to make sure your drive is more on the right-hand side. There's a big tree that sucks in all the discs. You definitely want to try to avoid. And then your putt is on like an uphill green.
And I may or may not know this from experience, but actually those long bushes, if you push too deep, are like almost exclusively prickers.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so I think they've done some work and cleared it out a little bit since then, but pretty shortly after this event, I went out there with a friend and played a fun round just to kind of see what we could do, and I landed over there on accident, and it was not a fun experience.
Oh, no. Is it raining right now?
It is drizzling. This is probably the most, I'm trying to think of the proper word, dense rain we get, thick rain.
Yeah, this is the thick of it.
Yeah, this is it, and you can kind of see the tee pads not really getting that wet. It really wasn't too bad, but they are enough raindrops out there that if, we've all been there before, like as we're throwing, we get our hand, that raindrop hits our disc right as we're about to throw. Like there is enough out there to cause some impact there, but not for Cynthia. She just put a perfect drive down the center.
Yeah.
But for us normal humans.
For sure.
I wonder if this is a buzz again. I'm pretty sure Courtney threw a buzz in round 1 and just like sailed it way down there, but I don't know what that was from her.
I got sucked into that tree that gets them all.
This is looking really good. Yes, please.
That was pretty good.
Orange disc, what was it?
I don't know. I don't think I have it anymore. I'm gonna guess that was my Star T-Bird 3.
Okay. Good disc. I like T-Bird 3.
Yeah, I love the T-Bird 3s. I still have those in my bag, actually. I was thinking that may have been the Sidewinder, but I wouldn't have thrown a Sidewinder there. That Sidewinder is long gone.
Aw, sad face.
Too
much dangerous water on tour.
You lose a lot of discs on tour.
They don't give them their yearly supply just for kicks and giggles. It's their replacements.
Yes, they are. That's why I don't put any dyed discs in my bag. Great par.
Yeah, great hit from Lisa there. That was clutch. And that almost seals it because there's no one from the chase card right now that's really pushing that kind of a score.
For sure.
I mean, right now on the back 9, 5 pars. That's like a hot score right now.
As long as she can maintain.
Yes.
I mean, Lisa got it.
Down the stretch here, she's got and 2 of the toughest holes coming up. She's got to keep it together on those holes.
17 and 18?
Know. Yes.
Yeah, 18. Yeah.
A lot
17.
of OB.
Oh, they're both tough.
Yeah, you're like 18. That's a tough. Oh, 17. That's tough too. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to go back and forth for a while. They're both pretty tough.
For sure.
15 now. What do we got going on?
Hole 15, a 325-foot par 3. It is a big Anheuser shot if you have that distance, or a forehand up to the middle there. The throw you want to avoid is anything that's going to get you on this right-hand side too early from the basket. So you just basically don't want too big of an Anheuser or too tight of a forehand.
Yeah, we saw I think, in round 1 land over in those trees on the right side, and it is a no bueno over there.
Oh, no, it's a no-go.
This is a totally acceptable shot from Lisa. This is a great spot.
It really is. You can see the basket from there. That's pretty much where you want to go if you're not trying to, like, run it, which I don't think any of us really can.
Yeah, it's very uphill.
Yeah, and it's a very, very tight
backhand
if you're trying to get up there.
Yeah, everyone who throws backhand kind of throws that line that Lisa just did, where they kind of, like where Cynthia's throwing right now as well, where you throw at those trees and try to get a disc to carry over to the right. And I think the reality is if you want to push it, especially if the wind isn't going to push you towards the wood line, but if you're trying to attack it, you got to hug it almost close to that tree right on the right side of the gap there and let it attack on the near side where Courtney, that's what I just said. Try to attack that side. She did get caught up. Yeah, it got caught up, and she thought it went deep into the right side, and then it trickled out of the tree high and landed short left. So she was relieved not to be in there.
Well, she is now.
Yeah, so.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what you want to avoid. Maybe she'll have a gap in there, though.
Yeah, I mean, as you get closer to the basket, it's a little more open, so. I mean, is that same orange disc? Must be that Teeper 3.
I think it is.
Tough spot for you, too. Such a low ceiling.
I'm so tall.
Yes. Sometimes, a lot of times when we do commentary, we talk about a guy like Marweed or someone who's really tall is like a big, long straddle that they get to do because they're so tall. Sometimes we forget when you find yourself in a cramped space. Being tall, not so much of an advantage.
It's not always the best. That branch helped me a lot.
Yeah, a little flick there. Put you in circle. Yeah,
just not my round.
Yeah, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
Oh.
It's a
great
bid.
Look.
Yep, she's giving bids. She had a little alleyway, gave it a good run. Almost was able to get it. Your putt's looking better here as you moved across the course here late in the round. You look better.
Cynthia's putting her disc under her shirt. She's not getting it wet. It's definitely rainy then.
Hole average, or the hole played at 3.52, hole 15. So almost half a stroke over par. Definitely very difficult, and I think that just kind of goes into play here of people going early right and people losing strokes unnecessarily. I mean, people were trying to get aggressive. People were trying to move today, trying to get themselves into the cash payout spot, and every stroke mattered. So some people were getting really aggressive off that tee, and sometimes that's a result.
Wasn't there an ace pot on that one too?
There was. There's an ace bounty on it.
Oh.
No one hit it. It's a tough hole.
It is. Hole 16, 356 foot par 3. It is a very scary initial gap through those woods, but once you're out of the trees, it's very, very open fairway with very grabby grass. And for all of us, I'd say we're all trying to get that birdie with a long putt look. Very possible for all of us here.
Slow hill the whole way too, so
it is.
It's not a lot of these numbers. When we keep walking up to the pad and we're like, it's 350, and we're like, well, Lisa can throw 350. Why isn't she parking the hole? It's like, because it's 18 feet above her head. So
right, it takes like 400 feet of power.
Right.
To get to that 350 for sure.
With nose angle control, with a wind, with rain, it's like things are going to add up here. So. Really another hole that if you can't consistently get that 400 power out through a tight gap, I mean, this is a psychological hole. And I've actually heard several pros talk about this hole, interestingly enough, where they thought that if this was the starting hole of the course, so let's say imagine this was hole 1 rather than hole 16, that this hole would play much harder and people wouldn't like it as much because you wouldn't be as prepared. There's a course for the CCR that does this, the River's Edge, I think it is, where that very first hole is this super tiny, skinny gap that everyone doesn't like because it's the first hole of the course. But because this one's so late in the round and people are usually warmed up by now, that the gap isn't quite as intimidating.
For sure.
Not like hole, what is that?
Oh, great bid.
Oh, you can see it too. She's like, I had that. Like hole 6 from
dance.
earlier. That's a tough gap because it's earlier in the round.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally like where it's at.
Oh, a step jump from you there.
Yeah, I was trying something different because my other ones weren't getting there, so.
Courtney.
Ooh,
High.
an elevator putt.
Yeah, high wiggly putt, but it went in.
That's great.
Oof.
Oh, who is this?
More flippy.
Change the shirt. Great par.
And she is cruising. I mean, on the back 9, she probably thought about this as well. I mean, having even a 1-stroke lead, if you just par out the back 9, you're kind of just telling the person, like, go get birdies. Like, go get it.
Right.
You're going to need a throw-in and probably a spectacular shot to do it. And Lisa has more than just a 1-stroke lead. And so this is even more control for her as she's taking quite the lead here with 2 to play. But these are
definitely giving herself a cushion.
Yes, and she's going to need it here with 2 of the most difficult holes to play, starting with hole 17 with so much danger, Stacy.
So much
Break
danger.
it down for us.
605 feet, a par 4. There is road on the left and it's OB and it goes the entire fairway. Makes a backhand very tough, especially with the line of small trees along the fairway on the right-hand side. There is also OB right of those trees, and the fairway narrows as you reach the basket.
In summary,
it's a very hard hole.
Yeah, in summary, this hole hard.
It'll get you.
Yeah, and this is where a score sneaks up on you, as Lisa is probably 3 to 6 inches away from that OB line on the right.
And it's cold, and it's raining, and there's wind on the hard holes.
This is tracking right towards OB, yeah, and it does.
No.
That was tracking towards that far right side. I like the forehand play here, especially if you have that good control. Oh, that needs to come back, though.
Headwind got me.
Dang.
Yep. Turned it over.
Yeah, the one thing you just wanted to do, because you can use the road to get a little extra skip, is throw something really stable off the road, and if it can get back in bounds, it's a great play. Courtney's saying, I don't want to skip it. I'm just going to throw it literally just
Courtney's
inbounds.
like, I want to avoid everything that Stacy just did, so...
I mean, Courtney and Cynthia right now are in a position, right? They're competing for some of that top cash right now, and, every stroke counts here, and with Cynthia potentially OB, because we didn't have a spotter giving us signals.
Right.
So, she knew she was potentially in an OB position, so she needed to keep it safe, and she's trying to play it smart so she can get a stroke if possible.
Yeah.
This is looking really good from Cynthia.
Yeah, it is. That's a great spot.
Yeah, one of the best shots you can do from that position. Long look for her par.
Definitely agreed.
Pressure here back on Courtney here as I said here a lot there. Ignore that. She's trying to keep it in bounds. She does so nicely. It'll be a longer look, probably not a birdie look from there, but
hey, par on 17 and 18 is so good.
It is super good. Oh, you are headed wide. What is this?
Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, big skip. Mid-circle too. Destroyer, okay.
I disked up, just not trusting that wind after that first drive.
Don't blame you.
I just threw the destroyer twice in a row.
You can see Lisa having to take relief off of the OB line. She was tight.
Mm-hmm.
And this is looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right next to you or in that circle 2 range. That's going to be a great opportunity for her to maybe even sneak in a birdie. A little scoot action.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
McGrath was just like, no, I'll just give you 1 foot. That's it.
That's it. No more.
So
It's like, be aggressive. Yeah, good bid from Cynthia there.
Yep. Oh, good try.
That was a little weird from her. She just
Yeah.
reacted a little differently. Like it wasn't a miss. Like she thought something else was going on. Sneak in there.
Oh, I tried.
Yes. Comeback putt time. We don't miss comeback putts here.
No, absolutely not.
Only,
not when I'm
only after you make it, and then I say it. That we don't miss those comeback putts. I should.
Yeah, at this point, I was definitely just completely defeated. This is probably one of the worst rated rounds I've had in a long time, and just trying to be done.
Yeah, we've all probably had a day like that, and it's unfortunate that it's happened to you here. Courtney taking no moment for granted here, knowing the momentum here as the stroke swing happens on 18, and it's about to end this tournament here with one hole to play. Stacy, break down this monstrous hole 18.
786 feet, and it's a par 4. There is OB left right in the FPO landing zone. Another patch of OB if you hit the gap. You have to throw over a tree, but for the most part, it's a relatively open fairway, though. There is OB left, which is the road, and then once you're getting up to the basket, that sidewalk on the right is also OB, and also the road on the left.
In case you were wondering at home, hole 17 and 18 have a lot of OB.
Yep.
I mean,
So this one, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just can't avoid it either talking about it because there's orange flags and roads everywhere.
Yeah. And it's like you kind of see that patch of bushes there on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like the ideal landing zone. So if you just hit a backhand just with a little too much fade, it's going to be in the OB.
Yeah. We saw, I think, Lisa do that in round 1.
Mm-hmm.
So she was trying to correct that. She actually threw it into the dirt this time, so...
Cynthia throwing way right, trying to just completely avoid it altogether, and she does.
Yeah, they did mow more grass over there on the right side because they knew people would play a little safer with those OB bushes, so thankfully those are going to be pretty easy to find. Normally, when it hasn't been trimmed, that grass is pretty long, and it's pretty easy to lose track of a disc.
Yeah.
We do have a spotter here today.
Yeah.
Throwing up the green flag there, although I don't think there's any red flag that you can hold over there unless you threw it 250 feet to the right.
Luckily, I did not.
Yes, thankfully, that's not what's going on here. And Lisa is saying, let me put this in a great spot at the very end. No.
That's okay. She has a good lead.
Yeah. But she has such a clean back 9.
I know. It's all gray.
She's ruining it. No, I'm not going to say that. She's going to throw it in. She's going to save it.
Yeah, she is.
Little surprised, honestly, to see this hole not be a par 5. This year. It has been in the past. I know a couple times, but definitely made it a par 4 this year. Interested to see what they'll do next year. This hole on average was a 5.14. So the ladies in this particular event, based on their performance, this hole should play around that par 5 range. But missed that bush.
Oh.
Good roll.
Good roll away.
Good roll.
I remember that now.
Here we go again. Over the road? Yes,
Yep.
Love this play.
I was trying to play a skip off the ground. I don't remember if I got it or not.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. I can't, most people can't do that. That's a phenomenal shot.
Oh, thanks. I had fun on the last one with the destroyer, so I was like, I'll do that again.
Yeah.
Well, I had nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
I'm already not having a great round, so.
Good way to end it there, just to get, throw that tree, you feeling that frustration, get that frustration throw, and just nail it.
Yeah. I find I get a little experimental when I know that I'm, not going to be doing well, or, I'm not going to achieve my goals. I'll start throwing backhand up shots or something just to practice something that I don't normally do in a tournament, and you just have to get comfortable somehow, right? So
yeah, and that's a great place to have that pressure. Ooh, another road skip here from Courtney.
Oh, beautiful.
We'll take those.
Yeah, we all kind of got in the circle, didn't we? Is Cynthia circle 2? Yeah.
Yeah, she's circle 2 here.
Just not enough.
Yeah, she's frustrated. She's just definitely not the performance she wanted here in the final round. Oh, blow by there from Courtney.
Yeah.
She got a smile on her face though. She's gonna make that comebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, good victory here for Lisa.
Well done, Lisa. Congratulations on your victory, my friend.
Yeah, we filmed the FPO a couple years ago in 2019 for this event, and she was battling with some other people, ended up taking second to a local here, and definitely wanted to come back. When I talked to her, said she wanted to come back and try to win this event, and she has done that this year.
Absolutely. With flying colors. I'm curious because I know that like Lauren Butler and there were a few others on like the chase card that were moving up on us.
Yeah, they were. They were making some moves.
Yeah, so I want to see this leaderboard at the end, see how everyone finished.
Introducing your 2021 FPO River City Open champion, Lisa Fajkus.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Thanks, Shay.
Well done.
All right. Let's take a look at those rounds. Lisa with +1 for the round, +4 overall for the tournament, and Lisa.
Look at that.
Yeah, Lauren Butler 2 over, just 1 stroke worse than Lisa there in that final round. That's able to move her back up into second.
A 3-way tie for third, huh?
Heck yeah, 3-way tie for that 3rd place.
Very cool.
They're gonna have to share the bronze medal somehow. We'll figure it out. But thank you so much for joining me for this event, Stacy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me for my first time commentating.
Yeah, it was awesome. And thank you to all my Patreon family and followers. It's always great for you to have people supporting us. And we'll see you guys at the next event.